that. Now that dude's grabbing her. Hey, you can't go in there. She is just unstoppable. She's like a full back running through the line of scrimmage.
Are you suggesting that members of Congress will be arrested who were there yesterday?
This is an ongoing investigation, and that is definitely on the table.
Ooh. A big-bellied Congresswoman is now facing a warning. If you do this type of behavior, engage in this insurrectionary conduct again, you may be arrested. The Congresswoman is named LaMonica McIver. You may recognize her here from her stomach. But she was wearing the red blazer and she tried to storm the gate of Delaney Hall, the detention center, and she was assaulting an ICE agent this entire time. And here's what happened. Once they were there outside the scene, you can see that this was outside of an ICE detention center and a very angry Congresswoman barreling her way in. Look at her. She's like a fullback. Super slow-mo, violent attacks. Look at her waving her hand around. You saw that up there and down, pounding, pushing, shoving. You see this dude over here is trying to bring her back a little bit like, ma'am, you're acting like a fool. Stop it. Now, what you'll notice is Homeland said this. She was assaulting an ICE agent, and that comes with repercussions. DHS says that arrests are on the table for lawmakers after an ICE detention center incident, and they were out in the aftermath of this saying, we did nothing wrong. Everything was fine, and we're allowed to abuse federal agents. Here's what the story from the Epoch Times reports for us. It says, Homeland said on Monday that Democratic lawmakers involved in a confrontation at federal immigration facilities could face arrest, citing body camera footage that we saw. Homeland spokesperson called Tricia told CNN in a May 10th interview over the weekend that the department was reviewing evidence that included video of elected officials attacking ICE officers on a May 9th incident outside Delaney Hall Detention Center in Newark. That's Alina Abba's jurisdiction. We'll see what she says about this. Raising the prospect of federal charges against the lawmakers. Now, we actually have body camera footage. We got Tricia coming up. Asked whether agents could be arrested. She said, oh yeah, it's definitely on the table. So what happened? The comments followed a chaotic standoff. May 9th, Democratic representatives called Bonnie Watson Coleman and Representative Mendez Jr. and LaMonica, all who are in New Jersey, arrived for what they described as a lawful overnight visit. Now, they were joined by Newark Mayor Ras Baraka, who was arrested during the encounter. The Newark mayor, right? We saw him get arrested. Now, according to DHS, the group forced its way through the first security checkpoint and occupied a guard shack as a bus carrying detainees entered. In another statement, Homeland said the two lawmakers, Watson, Coleman, and Menendez, stormed the gate. Alongside activists, they posed a safety risk to everybody. Now, Homeland also said the detainees housed at the Delaney Hall are suspected of serious crimes, right? Murder, terrorism, all the things. The 1,000-bed facility operated under a $1 billion contract is a private prison. Lawmakers rejected what Homeland said. They said, this is ridiculous, said Watson Coleman. The notion that I or any of my colleagues body slammed anybody with their bellies is absurd. We saw that belly flopping around out there, Watson. We saw it, and you know that some might consider that a dangerous or deadly instrument, which might aggravate this assault into felony, because you could put someone's eye out with that thing. Homeland is lying, they say. We watched it. Because they know their agents were out of line, they have to resort to lies because their conduct is indefensible on the merits. Now, Ned Cooper, another spokesman, told media outlets that the body camera footage shows agents put their hands on the members of Congress first. And now House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries also came out. Members of Congress have a constitutional responsibility, and we can go wherever we want, do whatever we want, wherever we want, all the time. Here was another clip, and from a different angle, and you can see, look at this Congresswoman beating her way in through federal agents. Here it is. Look at that. Now that dude's grabbing her. Hey, you can't go in there. She is just unstoppable. She's like a full back running through the line of scrimmage. Now, we have some guidelines for them in case they want to familiarize with themselves with this. Homeland said, you know, members of Congress cannot break the law in the name of oversight. Hello. All members and staff need to comply with facility rules, procedures, and instructions from ICE personnel on site. Now, ICE facility visitation guidelines for Congress members and staff are detailed here, writing that U.S. immigration addition, all visitors are expected to comply. Even members of Congress, they are afforded special access, but they're limited to staff only, and we're not going to accommodate mixed groups, and all requests for tours should be directed to the field office, and you must conduct yourself in accordance with good security practices. Obviously, they have not done that here, and now they should be facing some penalties. Now, here's what Representative LaMonica said. You know, as congressional members, we have the power to conduct oversight. This is what we're here to do. Here's what she said.
Myself, Congresswoman LaMonica McIver, and Congressman Rob Menendez. We're here conducting an oversight visit, which we have the power to do as congressional members. Statutory authority. And so that is what we're here for, and we're waiting to speak to a supervisor to let us in here because, as you can see, they will not let us in.
They will not let you in because you didn't go through the appropriate mechanisms. That doesn't give you the right to insurrect the ICE facility. You should probably arrest yourself for insurrection. So she explained this. She says, none of this had to happen. We arrived at Delaney Hall to do our jobs, and ICE created the chaos. So here was all three of them, it looks like. Bonnie Watson Coleman, this other gal, and this other dude. So, like, I guess they're the Democrat Avengers today.
Congresswoman McIver, I want to go back to some of the footage. We were looking at some, and I want our viewers to see that you are the woman in the red blazer as we show them. The DHS says that, obviously, that there were chaos, that maybe you were trespassing. You can talk about that. But the DHS also says that, in their words, you were body slamming an ICE officer. Is that what we're looking at? Is that what
looks
happened?
like it with your big belly?
Absolutely no. I mean, honestly, do not know how to body slam anyone. There's no video that supports me body slamming anyone. As Congresswoman Bonnie Watson Coleman said, we were simply there to do our job, therefore oversight visit, and what you're watching in a video, and we don't have all of the body cam, and we hope that all of the body cam is released. It was a very tense situation. It unfortunately did not have to be like that. They created that confrontation, they created that chaos, and then ultimately went to arrest the mayor of the largest city of New Jersey, who is my mayor and my constituent. And it was very difficult to watch that happen, but absolutely, I did not body slam anyone.
All right, well, we kind of saw that belly flopping around over there. But Alina Abba was also talking about this, and she said that they are going to investigate this a little bit further, or they're willing to investigate this if the problem is not resolved. If they continue to try to insurrect ICE facilities, then there will be repercussions. Now, here was more. Rapid Response 47 was saying that they claim nothing happened, but you can see very clearly she was pushing and shoving her way inside, and everybody can see it. Now they're trying to backtrack for their violence. Now, AOC is also saying the same thing. She was out posting some of this saying, you know, it's time to essentially fight back. Here's what AOC said over the weekend.
And now what DHS is trying to say, again, they're using public intimidation because they know that they cannot come for us all.
Is she an illegal alien who's a member of MS-13 or something? What is she talking about?
What they said
come for us?
Is that DHS is allegedly looking into arresting members of Congress who were showing up for their legal and constitutional obligation to conduct oversight. If anyone's breaking the law in this situation, it's not members of Congress, it's the Department of Homeland Security.
So AOC is doing one of her things. Maybe she should show up there in her little white outfit and cry at the fence post and see if that solves anything. But obviously, here's what Trisha had to say. She's the spokesperson over for the Department of Homeland Security and said, we're not playing around on this. You want to break and enter? We'll respond.
We should let viewers know there will likely be more arrests coming. We actually have body camera footage of some of these members of Congress assaulting our ICE enforcement officers, including body slamming a female ICE officer. So we will be showing that to viewers very shortly.
You say a
The
video
American
of
people should know
members
the
of
facts.
Congress body slamming ICE
That's correct.
officials?
That's correct, sir. It's disgusting.
Okay, and so if
It
you
is.
have that video, are you suggesting that members of Congress will be arrested who were there yesterday?
This is an ongoing investigation, and that is definitely on the table.
Who?
ICE does, and we will be releasing that very shortly.
All right, so we'll see what happens with these Congress people who are now throwing their weight around to try to get inside federal facilities. Obviously, no one is above the law and above arrest.